Banana!
Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Eat, Crit and Survive, where a bunch of people gather in different locations to play some Dungeons and Dragons, and Connor yells banana at us.
Banana!
He got it in as well, which is, pretty good.
Well played, nice him. Yes, we are back. Jared will be joining us at some point. I don't know where he is. He's just late, I imagine.
And I'm not running the stream today because my hardware exploded.
So did your computer.
Sorry for the lack of music, the lack of nice titles, the lack of any of the social details. We're literally getting black and white text.
I thought you were going to say just black and white picture. I was like, bloody hell.
Yes, but we gave the people what they wanted, which is us.
This is all you need. But for the lack of social media shows on there, you can follow us on @EatCritSurvive. It's our Twitter. You can find us on YouTube, Eat, Crit and Survive. And if you're watching us on Twitch, which I hope you are, then you can follow and subscribe, or whatever it is that you do on Twitch. Follow and subscribe. Those are the ones. We do have Facebook.
Somewhere. In a drawer.
We have a Facebook.
Just press all the buttons.
Ross is just going, what am I doing?
I was trying to get the details to come up, and I can't remember any of the codes that I set up. Exclamation mark socials, Twitter worked. FB didn't work.
I don't think we've ever officially announced the Facebook.
It does exist. We just I haven't used it.
Who uses Facebook anymore?
I know.
Facebook is just a messaging service.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all it's there for.
I actually use it, funny enough, more like a phone book now, where I'm looking at the business rather than.
Yeah.
Screw you, Yelp.
It's okay for keeping up with families and bands and things.
Yeah, it's your family.
Bands. That's what MySpace is for.
Oh man, I had the best MySpace.
Oh, wait, you mean I've been going wrong all these years checking Geocities?
No, guys, Bebo.
Yeah.
It's Habbo Hotel.
Habbo Hotel.
I had a great Habbo Hotel.
That's actually.
You're not old enough to have a Habbo Hotel.
I am.
Yeah.
I am old enough to have a Habbo Hotel. I joined right as it died.
Don't worry, guys. I know whatever we do, if we need to find our social medias, just ask Jeeves.
Yep.
Oh.
And you can catch all of our previous episodes on Beta
No,
Plus.
Jeeves, I've got him in a cupboard. He's just out here somewhere.
That's the banging one.
Yes, and you can catch all our previous episodes on Laserdisc.
Yeah, I've got. That's why my computer caught fire. It was too busy trying to transform them from laser over to the new floppy disk.
I mean, goodness knows what it'll be like when we try and get it onto Betamax.
Damn sight better than when we try and get it on a mini disc. Those never caught on.
Nope.
And yet I had so many.
I've still got my Atari. It's fine.
I tried to make that happen. I tried to make it a thing, mini disc. I tried. It's just you were so useless and could only hold 3 songs per disc.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Someone sent me a picture the other day of those big binder things with the CDs all in them and went, yeah, this was the original Netflix. And I was like, yes, it was.
Oh, I remember doing that before every car journey that we had, because we used to have the portable TV things. Any long journey we had was
very middle class.
Skiing. Connor, you've met me, right? And yeah, it was between me and my sister, just like, right, we've got 20 sleeves, we've got 10 each, and just picking DVDs to just chuck into them.
Yeah, I remember when I was in my limo driving to school, and I had to get the champagne out of the cooler on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
One never had time to get the champagne out of the cooler. It always used to shake as Papa lifted the helicopter up.
Ross, you're from the south. Let's be honest, you took a tractor.
Yeah, and probably the poshest here, maybe.
Arguably. No. From Ross's background, yeah, probably. It's a toss-up. I mean, you look at Connor's house.
Yeah.
Connor's house, you would think, is the poshest of the houses.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a house full of fucking commoners. So.
Yeah. I do want to kind of impute your parents.
The money comes from questionable sources.
Questionable sources. You should have seen the people who lived here before us when we evicted them with knives and bullets.
And guns and ships. And so they balance ships.
With iron and fire.
What is dead may never die.
My sword and my axe.
I just thought you just used gas. That'd make sense for you.
No, never use your own profession to kill someone. It's too easy to trace back.
I think it's quite difficult to kill someone by quantity surveying. I'm not entirely certain, but it might be tricky.
I mean, it's really slow burn plans, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
minute sabotage to building regs and plans.
Yeah. Just ever so just shaving an inch off. Just as it
I
goes
love
up.
that this is all going out online.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I work on infrastructure, so like, just put a pothole somewhere. HS2 will just go over it. Yes, because I'll put a pothole on a track.
Yes.
Oh, but apparently there's a sinkhole in Northampton today.
What's
What's
that?
that?
Yeah, shut St. Michael's car park.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
Should I change the game that we're or the type of channel?
Just chatting.
Just chatting. Yeah.
Just chatting gets way more
Just
views than
chilling
D&D.
in, chat for a couple of hours. That'd be good.
We get 15 minutes of chat, and then we actually play.
Hey, if you're subscribed, don't forget to use your emote of if you literally type "eat crit" in the chat and you're subscribed, it should come up with a logo. Just saying.
I'd do it, but it's too far away. Yeah.
No, it didn't work.
Welcome to my life, mate.
Although I don't know. Is that because I don't know.
Is there an exclamation mark in there? Have you
tried it in all caps?
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
No, I tried that.
I
Didn't
didn't
go very
capitalise
well.
the T. You have to capitalise the T. Anyway.
Which one? Which T?
Oh, the last T. The last T. Sorry.
There you go. Eat crit with a capital T.
Yeah.
For some reason.
At the end.
Here, Eat Crit, we don't care about grammar.
We're doing got a channel called Eat
Yeah,
Crit.
if the T's at the beginning, it's Teat Crit.
Teat Crit and survive.
Speaking of grammar and our name, when we were getting it redesigned for Laura, Laura's sister's boyfriend was getting it sorted out for us. It was we got the commas in added commas in for some reason. So it was like Eat, Pray, Love, but it was Eat, Crit, Survive.
And that's what I always thought the name was. I didn't realise it was like eat crit, like eat shit, and Luke had to explain that to me. I genuinely thought it was like eat, pray, repeat, like eat crit, survive.
And they eat juice and leaves.
You went through the same journey I did when we first suggested the name, because I remember ages ago that I did exactly the same thing. I think I put a comma in there somewhere or something.
I'm glad I'm not the only person to think it was eat shit. Eat shit and survive.
I thought it was an Eat, Pray, Love reference, and I'm like, oh, Luke reads that book. Interesting.
Hey, Jared.
No, Connor, you're right. It was Eat Shit and Survive.
I'm pretty sure it was. We probably made the name after you'd beat the crap out of us for about 45 minutes. Eat shit and survive. Yeah, that'll do. That's what Luke says every time he plays.
No, it'll be that session where there was 5 crits in a row, or
What
one
you mean,
after
every session?
Yeah.
I'm just happy they weren't on me for once. That was the best bit about last week. I was sitting there watching Lyra Lair and Kafina and Kelatar and Foundling and Leela all just go pss, 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 and he's looking at me going, I ain't going to shoot you with a ray, love, because you're fucking useless down there.
Connor, let's be honest. It was either Lyra or Cedric.
It was Lyra.
It was those two options.
You only shot Cedric to make Lyra feel better.
That makes me feel worse.
No, I shot Cedric to make me feel better. Because I wasn't hitting Lyra.
I fixed it. It was punishment for fixing the one that did hit.
Man, if that one did hit, that fight would have gone so differently.
Mm-hmm.
Lyra been feebled from the start. I reckon we will probably just die.
A lot harder. But anyway, speaking of recap, where we last left off, the Wandering Stars had made their way back to the Temple of Gaia within the Great Expanse, having dug it up and made a new friend-ish, who I've just realised I've given Jared the wrong name.
From nowhere, Kafina appears. Hey.
I wouldn't be that surprised.
No.
And that would be exactly what she'd say.
Yeah.
Wandering Stars snuck into the kobold-infested Temple of Gaia, killing 5 on the way in, and Liralair using a very excellent use of haste.
Yeah, you can never be too careful.
No, I know. But you snuck around the entirety of the base, found your way to where the kobolds were sleeping, and attacked. They then woke up and attacked you back.
Mhm.
It was rather unfortunate, as the big beholder Ralakor, the seer of the Cult of the Void, floated out and proceeded to blast people. Battle ensued where a meteorite blew up a massive hole in the side of it and killed an enemy wizard before he could do anything.
And it did do some damage to the
And did do some damage to the beholder.
But killed the wizard, that was the main thing.
Killed the wizard, which you didn't realise that it was an enemy wizard until about 3 days later. Defeated some kobolds. Another meteor swarm went off in the wrong direction. And blew a hole in the
Blew
temple.
up some kobolds.
You did. Taking out some random NPCs. And eventually, with Lyra's broken mind and swinging sword, struck into Ralakor, killing him dead. At the precipice and the end of this battle, taking a moment to breathe with Cedric and Lyra, both unaware of their faculties, a voice spoke to each of you, and you turned to see that the glassy form that had been blasted into the sand had moved to form the face of Gaia, the Earth Mother, primordial entity. And that is where we left off. So, Kalatar, you are up on the shelf where Ralakor was, which is, you were the one that was closest to it. You had climbed up there for some reason. I don't know why. You were there.
Did I?
Mm.
You were tiny.
You were over there for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, I know I was over there near where Ralakor was because, well, I'd run that way and then Ralakor came round, but I don't remember climbing.
I don't know. Anyway, you are nearest.
I'm there.
You are nearest.
Ian said I'm there, therefore.
As the goddess face appears and looks out to each of you, you all sort of take a moment of feeling this oppressive power of this goddess. And you get the sense that she's not fully awake.
She's just woken up.
Because if she was, oh boy, this would hurt.
We can fix that. Someone can cast Awaken, right?
No. So, the 5 of you that are able to speak, what would you like to do?
Take a knee.
Yep.
Yeah, bow.
Family bows.
Yeah, oh. Wow.
Lyra, in her feeble-minded state, is going to start absent-mindedly chopping the eye stalks off Ralakor's corpse,
Okay.
putting them in her bag of colding.
So
Okay.
you just spin on the sponge like,
Okay.
Is anyone looking pretty grievously hurt?
I mean,
Most of us.
Everyone.
Who looks real rough?
Well, I had just gone unconscious and was brought back by a small healing.
Raise your hand if your hand's broken. Anyway, right. I guess I'll go over, check the beholder, and give Lyra a level 3 cure wounds.
okay.
Hadn't Gaia spoken to us at the end of the last session?
Yeah, she had.
What did she say?
She said something on, she said, thank you, or welcome, something along those lines. Just acknowledgement. But she looks out at each of you and ignores the lizard folk who've just wandered off to go and heal. Says, welcome, champions and heroes. I thank you for cleansing my temple. Too long have I been oppressed by the presence of that thing.
It is a horrible creature and deserves to be killed.
Why have you done such a favor and a kindness?
I mean,
Just for revenge?
Revenge was a key part of what we've just done. But also we were hoping to be able to have a conversation with you.
Then speak.
We are entwined in a long battle against the organization that this thing was a member of. In order to be able to fully defeat them, we need to be able to trap certain creatures inside some soul gems. And we need the essence of 8 gods in order to be able to do that. You, my lady, are the last one that we require.
I see. She seems to be waiting for you to continue speaking.
That being the case, would we be able to have some essence of your goddessness?
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
I say that, yes.
It's all right, I'm okay. I'm okay. 23.
Okay. Very well. For me to provide this essence, I must reawaken my followers. Could you bring them to me?
Where are they?
The face turns and you look over to your right and you can see that there is a tunnel that you have crawled through before.
Yeah.
They are contained within the room that Ralakor had
Yeah.
used as his treasure chamber.
Right. Guys, we need everything out of that room.
Okay.
Is she aware that they're gems?
I am.
Fantastic. We'll get everything from that room in here.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to exhaust everyone for no reason.
Yeah, I found it's going to take a second to do a wholeness of body and regain some hit points,
Mhm.
and then assist use it because I still have my multiple arms, so I can
Yeah.
carry stuff.
What was the healing for Lyra there, by the way, Roshni?
I was 21. I already messaged Tom.
Right, you make your way through into the next area where Ralakor seems to have made his nest. Everyone who is in there that has their mind can make an investigation check.
I've probably tried to get Lyra and Cedric in a safe place.
Okay, you're shepherding the.
I'm trying to kind of, because.
Okay, how are you doing?
If
How are
it's
you?
carrying things, I'm not that good. I can try and coax them into.
Cedric mumbles something about joining a hunt as he wanders off in a different
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't even say the word. Okay, how are you doing this? Are you corralling them?
Can I get. Come here! Can I just kind of. Can I go up to Cedric? Oh, is Cedric still strapped to the floor?
No.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you were restrained anymore.
I think
broke it.
everything's. I was still affected by one thing, but I think the time might have passed on that by now anyway. And there's a special rule on it. I was stunned and I was restrained, and I was feeble-minded, and I broke the stun.
The restraint was the petrification effect.
You
So I would.
freedom of movement to cure that.
I activated freedom of movement, but I don't know whether that.
Didn't you get caught in the anti-magic?
Yeah, you
thing as
stood in the
well?
anti-magic.
Which disabled suppressed the freedom of movement and suppressed the petrification.
It's one of those interesting things where I think technically you would still need to make the saving throw to avoid becoming petrified because it doesn't prevent you from being petrified, and you failed the saving throw initially. So I think it was a Constitution save. I will double check.
Can I be next to him when he does this?
Roll a d20.
Who, me?
Oh.
Yeah, Connor.
I thought you were reminding me how to make
12?
Okay, you are within. You happen to be near Cedric.
I just happen to be walking 9.5 feet away.
You happen to be nearby as I go past Sean Bean again for some reason. My deleted. The petrification rate was a dex save.
Oh yeah, that was why. Okay, yeah, no worries.
Of course it
Let me
was.
just roll a nice big number here. 14 plus what? 5?
5.
19?
19 is the DC. So,
Which is why I hang around.
Cedric, you are not petrified. But like, the stun is still lingering. It probably would. It'll wear off after a while.
I think I broke the stun at the end of last session. I think
So, okay. So how are you corralling Cedric and Lyra?
I don't know, because I don't think Lula's ever deal with the field line. She's going to just kind of like walk up to Cedric.
Yep.
Would she notice that he's acting a bit weird? What did he say he's doing? Just running around in circles?
Just running around going. Doo, doo, doo.
He's doing what Cedric is doing, which is just what Ross is doing, just looking around, not quite sure what is happening, isn't saying anything.
She'll go up to him and go, Cedric? Cedric? Hi!
It's great, because on my screen, it's that sort of angle.
unfortunately it's not right for my. I need to be like this.
I just want to make sure that they're okay. I'll probably just like try and bring them over to the crab.
Okay.
Can I just like, can I try and like grab his, like take his hand? Not grab his hand, but like slowly just kind of like, come on Cedric, you gonna come with me?
You're just holding a finger.
Yeah. And does he follow?
I mean,
Make an animal handling check.
yeah.
11.
Cedric follows.
Yay!
Cedric is aware enough of who friend and foe is. Cedric, despite having no charisma and no intelligence, still has a lot of wisdom.
I mean, Cedric was already in that situation, feeble-minded or not. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll take him over to the crab.
Okay.
And I'll be like, okay, you stay here. I'm gonna go and get Lyra. Stay here. Yeah, sit down if you want to. And just look after the crab. Can I make one of the drones kind of just like, will he be happily distracted by the drone? If he...
Depends. Are you going to attach some keys to it?
Yeah. I'm trying to make a rattle.
The keys to the crab.
I'm gonna make a mobile.
You're gonna come back and I'm gonna be locked in the crab.
You're in the crab.
It's gonna be like one of the children's rides, yeah.
Sure, you can have the drone, one of the drones just flying around, distracting Cedric.
Yeah. Just
Just,
like,
Looks like foe to me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll kind of like, okay. And then I'll run off to Lyra.
Okay. Lyra is still hacking ice stalks off the beholder, even though she hacked off all of the ice stalks about 5 minutes ago.
Lyra?
Holding this gooey blade and a bag with eyes just poking out. Make a Constitution saving throw. Which is lit to beholder's blood.
There's this many and this many.
So a 9, an 8. Okay, you vomit violently.
Lyra, don't put that in your mouth. Best not. I think you've got them all. I think you've got all the eyes, Lyra. It's dead. You're fine. Come down with me. We'll go and sit with Cedric, and then we can look at all the eyes you cut off. You can show us what a good job you've done. You did the best job.
Because of course Lyra doesn't quite understand how the bag holding works, so she stuck the bag's eyes in. It's like looking at a bunch of tulips that are just half in a bag, but they're just like fleshy eyes.
Tasty. Does she follow?
Does Lyra follow?
Does Lyra come?
Oh, she knows Leela's a friend.
Yeah, you follow.
She's in a very similar state to Cedric. She's still hella wise.
Yeah. She follows. She follows. Said
I'll
Leela.
take Lyra by the hand as well, like I do with Cedric. No, I'll take her over.
It's a little easier to hold Lyra's hand than it is Cedric's.
Like, okay, you sit next to Cedric. Do you want to show Cedric all the eyes you've got? Just don't put them in your mouth.
What's Cedric done whilst Leela left it all up?
That's a great question. I mean, is there anything shiny or interesting at all nearby?
I was about to say
The crab? The drones?
The cannon on the back.
Yes. Like, how big's the cannon?
About big, about the size of a sort of a medium-sized, small car engine, or like a lawnmower engine.
Not big enough for Cedric to climb into, then.
No, but the crab is. There are also the war
Is the
machines.
crab open?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm climbing into the crab.
Cedric is inside the crab.
Just looking around at the shiny things. Maybe if I feel spicy, I might pull a lever.
Roll a d6.
I'd love to. 2.
A 2. So I can find the apparatus stats. Go faster.
A 2. Forward window shutter opens. Forward window shutter closes.
So
which way? Which way? Up or down?
Well, as you pull the lever, because it's
Whichever
already
setting is not on, yeah.
It's already open, so it just shuts in front of you. It's now dark in here.
I'm just going to be confused at what just happened.
Okay.
I'll get back. Cedric! And I've heard the clang. I'll stick my head in. Cedric! Do you want to come out? It's very dark in here. You should come out and see Lyra. Lyra's out here. You can see her bag of eyes. It's great. Just don't eat them. They're not very nice. Want to come out into the light? Can you come out?
It's actually even worse. There's 10 things I forgot about.
Just literally just standing there watching you.
Roll a d10, Cedric.
Oh, Jesus. Why am I rolling a d10? 8.
8. The headlights at the front of the crowd just flick on.
We can't see that. The windows are shut.
Window's shut, but it's on the other side. So, Lyra, you suddenly see 2 powerful lights just come on behind you. It's like...
I run away.
Oh, God.
Which way do you run?
Directly away from the powerful lights.
So you're running back towards the entrance that you guys first came into.
Lyra, no, Lyra.
Lyra's gone.
Leela gets to be mummy.
Okay.
Good practice.
Can Cedric do a lot in the crab if I shut him in? He can't get to the cannon, which is the most deadliest thing. The only thing he can do is grab something with the claw. So I'm gonna shut him in the crab.
Okay, the hatch. You close the hatch and just lock.
Cedric, you stay here. Don't touch anything. I'll be back. They send the drones off to catch up, and Lyra also run in that direction too.
The drones. So from your perspective, Lyra, as you're running, look over your shoulder to make sure the light isn't chasing you. 2 buzzing drones with sort of dart bolt blasters at the bottom are just flying towards you.
Keep running.
You keep running, you run down the corridor, you go past where there are 5 dead kobolds for some reason and a hatch. You don't understand this. You run further on, you come to a passageway, left or right.
I'd probably just stand immobilized at the
decision.
entrance. Just sort of come to a screeching halt and just stand there looking at the 2. And eventually forget what was happening and just sit down.
The drone just float next to you.
Like, oh, Lyra, you can't run off like that. Come on, you're gonna come back with me to Cedric. The lights have gone. We can go back to everyone else.
Cedric, roll a d10.
By this point, I've probably moved 3 levers, I'm going to say.
Yeah, roll 3d10. And then let me know what the numbers are individually.
8.
8. The eyes blink out.
10.
The rear hatch opens.
4.
4. The claws at the front just shunk back inside.
Did you say the hatch opened?
The hatch opened, yes.
I see light and I will go towards it.
You walk back out. We're now out of the crowd.
I made the best decision.
Is there anything else shiny around?
Make a perception check.
You weaponized an idiot.
Oh, I critted. 30?
You see all the shiny.
By this point, you've seen Asher and Foundling have brought out several statues, gemstones, as well as there being a big shaft of daylight.
I like the daylight. I'm going to go towards that. That sounds nice.
You go towards daylight, and you see, you pottle out, and you look up, and there's just daylight. With every so often, sand just trickles in.
In his eyes. Is Cedric going to be like a cat? He's just going to sit in that little patch of sunlight.
There's a pile of sand that is quite warm.
Is there any way to climb up?
No, not from here.
Okay, I will sit in the pile of sand.
Okay, so he just sits in a pile of sand and looks up at the sun.
I'd like to walk out of the room with a statue and just look at Cedric and go, sounds all right.
So the 4 of you that are doing the labour, each of you make investigation checks for me, please.
Are we
Or...
getting new ones or what?
I mean, still got the same one because we never got to it. So, Kelatar?
13.
Asher?
22.
Foundling?
4.
Oroshne?
27.
Okay, so between Oroshne and Asher, Foundling, you see that there are many gemstone statues here. Kelatar, you also see that there are many gemstone statues here. But you also find that there's some various bits and pieces that are just sort of scattered around. There's a couple of staffs. One which seems to sizzle from a little bit with a little bit of heat of it. One which is icy cold to the touch. Asher and Urushne, you sort of find as you're looking around, you find a book, a rolled up carpet, as well as a sort of a rough count of these statues. There are 491 of these statues.
Oh, bloody hell.
Each of them worth about 2,000 gold each. And there is one which is, most are kobolds, but there are humanoids, dwarfs, tieflings. And there's a group of about a dozen individuals that seem to be stood in a circle in prayer. These seem to be the clerics of Gaia.
Oh, thank God. Thought you were going to ask us to move all 500 of the bastards.
Just bring one out. It's like, is this it? No, crap.
You know, put it in a bag of holding. Next.
You also find a couple of other things that are interesting to you.
Ooh.
There is a crystal ball set up in the far corner, which seems to be where Ralakor spent a lot of his time, because there's a lot of chewed up bits of creature that have just been spat out and discarded. This crystal ball is set into sort of a tripod, and from the tripod go filaments of wires that connect up to 100 mirrors that are just dotted around, sort of relatively small hand mirror size. But as you have a look at it, you can spend a little bit of time studying this thing. It flickers. And some of the mirrors light up. And you can see that it's looking at different people. Why is Nordak there? Why are we looking at the armies of the boats sailing across the sea? That's Kafina. I don't recognise the surroundings, but that's Kafina. And another mirror just flicks on, and it's the back of Kelatar's head. Another one flicks on, and it's Lyra. Another one, Cedric. Another one, Foundling. Another one, Asher. It seems to be that this setup was how Ralakor watched. You dead. But also buried in the pile of various detritus that is left in this is a leather pouch, which when it's picked up and you sort of shift it around, it rattles. Like there's something like bone inside it. Or maybe teeth? You're not sure.
Can I... Do I want to open this? I do. I'll take a look inside this bag that rattles.
Okay, you open it up and have a look inside. So bring up the stats for it. So I mess up all these.
Is it something that can distract Cedric?
As you open it up and have a look inside, it appears to be empty.
I'm going to turn it inside out.
You turn it inside out, nothing happens. Make an Arcana check.
Yes, I, the strongest Avenger, will make 11.
11. Okay. Your loose understanding of magic suggests that if something like this is making a noise and things are happening with it, if for whatever reason you aren't able to utilize it, it might be because you need to spend time attuning to it.
Okay. I will not put it in my bag of holding.
Okay.
Out of fear of what could happen. And I'll just hold that for now. Do we have anyone in the group that isn't feeble-minded that's good with magic? Because I'm not sure if I should just smash all these mirrors right now.
Your hand is off. Yeah, there you go.
Depends who you're pointing to.
Leela.
I was going to say, you're pointing at Ushnia for me.
Kelatar is a bird warlock. Surely he's the best at magic here at the minute.
I think in meta conversation, in terms of who is probably the best at Arcana, you're probably looking at the intelligence caster rather than the charisma one. Bard for bard things, yes, maybe, but
I will attempt to bring Leela down here to show her this contraption.
Okay, are you moving any of the statues first?
Well, I would like to help move the praying group.
Okay.
Foundling's probably moving stuff because I couldn't see anything else.
Yeah. Between Asher, Foundling, and Kalatar with Foundling's extra arms, the three of you are able to move this group of 8 slowly. By which point Leela has coaxed Lyra back and has found Cedric sitting in a pile of warm sand.
Okay, I'll take Lyra over and be like, should I sit in the warm sand next to Cedric? Does that sound nice?
It was cold sand, but he's peed.
Not there, the other warm sand.
Don't eat. No.
Don't eat wet sand.
I mean, don't eat sand. That's good.
No matter the condition the sand is in, you shouldn't eat
PSA
it.
brought to you by Eat, Crit and Survive. Don't eat sand.
Unless it's a magic using sand, it's okay to eat a sandwich.
There you go. Anyway, so you go back. You see Leela, and you see Leela's daycare centre with Cedric and Lyra in the sand pit.
You asked.
Are you alright there, Leela?
Don't broke me.
It's kind of like,
It is very bad joke.
You guys, did you find everything you needed?
We found some statues.
Great.
We found the ones that Gaia wanted. We've also found a rather troubling setup. I'm not sure what it is. Can you come and take a look at it? And
Yes.
Foundling will look after these two while we go and have a look.
Okay.
They like sunlight and shiny things.
Foundling with his many arms.
There are many arms.
There are many arms. Sorry.
Yes, and I will.
God, Matt.
Then.
I always
Okay.
forget.
You follow Asher. As you're going past, and the statues have been placed in front of Gaia. She's sort of got her eyes closed in concentration, and you all feel a vibration in the temple.
Oh.
And you feel the temple start to shift.
Okay.
It levels out and starts to rise, slowly pulling up. And you see behind the face of Gaia, where it is completely transparent because of the sand that you have blasted into glass, the sand descends as Gaia's energy brings the entire temple up to the surface. You watch as, from backlit from her own head, the sunlight focuses down in this sort of curved focal point, shining into the center of this circle where the statues are held. And slowly they begin to move. Just slowly shifting around. But they're not flesh. They are still gemstones.
So she's animated gemstone. As it were.
Yes. They are now seemingly living crystals.
Yeah. Nice.
And look around, and then they see the face of Gaia, and they immediately all bow, placing their temples flat against the floor. As they rise up again, some unspoken commands, the leader of them turns and says, "What happens?" And this is a human male, sort of mid to late 40s, with a rather impressive beard that is also made out of gemstone, the way that it has grown and has been permanently set. The stone itself seems to have shifted from being clear to being somewhat opaque. And you can see that this person of a sort of a topaz stone is looking at you quizzically and seems to hold a high rank in the clergy here. Asher and Leela are the closest of this instance.
Want to ask what just happened here?
Yes.
So, we came looking for Gaia, but really ran into some kobolds, we ran into a beholder, so we kind of beat those bad guys. I think these guys had like business to sort out with that guy. Two of our friends are feeble-minded, one cut off his eyes, and one just loves the warm sand. We got you guys out of that room because Gaia wanted it. I'm just about to go and look at this weird contraption that Asher wants me to. And now you are animated, which is cool. But that's about it.
Ash is just there like,
I surprisingly understood all of that. I remember. I'm Tornak. I am the lead priest of Gaia here. And had been for many moons, but we were attacked from below by the beholder. It's good to see that it's finally been defeated. And the Earth Mother is awake once again, albeit temporarily. We thank you for your assistance, although we do not appear to be what we once were. It sort of takes a moment and the heart still beats. It is. We shall spend many, many nights debating what we are. From beyond there, Asher, your ears prick up as you hear sort of movement of many creatures. Sort of confused, staggering as you sort of turn to look at you. Instinctively, your hand goes to Shatterfang.
I was about to say.
As the staggering collection of individuals who had each been turned to gemstone walk out, bewildered and confused, still in the gemstone form, but alive once again.
Just gonna check. I hope these are all your friends.
If they weren't before, they are now.
Ooh.
I don't think there's anything quite like us anymore. Of a sort that would make us our own unique entities. Children of Gaia. The voice of Gaia says, yes, my reawoken, my chosen crystallites. May you walk the earth spreading my name. I am thankful to you heroes who saved me. Here. And another sunlight beam focuses and shifts into a smooth brown pebble that then floats down and rests upon the palm of Asher. Take this essence of mine and use it. I sense the presence of the other planes. I estimate 3 weeks before they come together. Oh, and one other thing. As you watch the sunbeam that comes from her now, the face moves with it. Sort of like the Teletubby sun, but it just sort of shifting in as it keeps going.
I mean, I wasn't thinking the Teletubby sun until you brought it up. But now I am.
As the face sort of travels along the sunbeam, it sort of forms into this physical body, but still made purely of sunlight, and it makes its way gliding through to where Cedric is sat. And it reaches around and embraces Cedric. The glowing silver, the golden spiral that sits around his arm flashes, and the spiral grows, interlacing as the mother's embrace exalts.
Ooh.
So,
Shame
the
I'm
mother...
too stupid to know.
Too stupid to appreciate it, however.
Shiny!
I will tell you what it does, because it's pretty sweet. So, same as before, it has the, you are now able to, you're able to speak primordial.
Yep.
Which is
That was it. You can now speak primordial.
But,
I don't really speak primordial as well.
oh, that's unfortunate for you.
One of those ones where you get the ability you already had.
You can speak, read, and write primordial.
Oh, okay.
Your Constitution score and Constitution maximum increases by 6.
God.
Not on top of the 4 that you already have. You basically get another +2 on top of what you already have.
I mean, it's good.
And the healing embrace. Now, when you are in contact with the ground, you regain 1d10 plus your Constitution at the start of your turn.
Can't believe I gave this away.
You you can also choose to regain 1 to 3 hit dice, or expend 1 to 3 hit dice in addition to gain additional hit points as per a short rest when you recover with that ability.
Beautiful.
Also, if an ally is within 15 feet of you and is also on the ground, you can choose to heal them instead.
Ooh. Well,
But the addition in your turn, yes. So instead of healing yourself, you can heal an ally.
Hot damn.
For free. It's like a healing cantrip.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what we always wanted.
But if you use your hit dice, if you use the hit dice aspect, it's your hit dice that you'd be using to heal someone else. So you'd be doing your D10 plus your 3D8, but it would heal someone else.
Okay. I think.
Basically, it's 1D10 plus your Constitution modifier, which I think is now 8 or 7.
Maybe, I don't know, because I've messed with all the numbers because I can't use magical items right now, so...
Fair enough. And then if you want to use your hit dice to heal other people, you can. But that is a finite resource, so...
Yes.
But as the embrace of Gaia fades away into a fine sand again, the window closes her eyes and is still.
He's gone.
No, she is always here.
Oh, yeah, grand.
Why did you have questions for her?
I mean, it's a god. We always have questions.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd love to stay here and chat to her. She sounds fascinating, but apparently we've got 3 weeks left.
And we need to fix these two.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, I was hoping to try and talk to her about that, but wanted to wait until we'd helped her.
As a cleric of Gaia, are you able to help us?
I don't know how long it's been since I recovered my strength, but when I last fought, I was in combat with that and his army. Not over Ralakor. I don't have the capability to restore anyone's mind this day. I'm sorry.
Would you mind coming with us to assess this contraption downstairs, as it is in your temple?
Of course, I will come with you.
I take Leela and the cleric of Gaia.
Okay. Tadok follows you. No, Twilight, sorry, wrong.
That's why I elected for cleric of Gaia. I didn't want to try and pronounce that.
Yeah, Twilight. 3 of you wander through. As you sort of go, actually, you in your sort of passive state, you notice the burnt body of a kobold that is slightly covered with rubble. It looks like they had some things on them as well. But you continue on your journey and head to this contraption.
It seems to show where we all are at any given point in time.
Another thing blips up. The Legion of Storms.
Whoa, you can see everyone in there. Hey, look, there's me! I just turn around like, hi!
Don't.
Hi! Hello! Can I cast guidance on myself and take a look at this?
You may. You guidance yourself, make an Arcana check.
Whoop.
Or if you have the Identify spell.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. That is, I mean, it's 18 without guidance. It's 22.
22. Okay, nice. So you spend some time sort of studying this, and first of all, this appears to be a standard crystal ball that has been placed that is able to use scrying to have a look around and see a creature if you so choose to use the scry spell. It has been enhanced magically through this contraption to project those that are chosen and designated onto different mirrors. It seems to be that Ralakor had designated a number of enemies to the Cult of the Voids as people to watch. But as you sort of see and sort of study it a little more, every so often flicker comes on, and there's a creature that you recognize. It's one of the visionaries, the water snake that you fought in Solrisa, has reformed. The earth giant that you fought in South Peak also reformed. The fire giant, Asher, that you recognize from the elemental plane of fire that you defeated. Why are you looking at that?
Anything actually was there for that one?
Well, actually, that was Anna. That was there.
That was Anna.
No. Which case,
But I've been told.
yeah, you can tell. I don't remember whether Asher was there as well. I wasn't sure if she'd come back for that one. I think you had both for a while.
No, not for the fire giants.
Okay. In which case, that is you have been described as fire giants, but this is not disconcerting. Ralakor was the watcher, the seer, and looks to be keeping an eye on the enemies. But as you sort of look around and you see that the vision that is cast upon here of the approaching navy, you see a surge of sharks leap out of the water as if they're going to attack, diving forward and just jumping out and going grabbing. Some of them grab onto some of the Valkyrie and the Inhalia and pull them into the water. Others jump up, and as they go, tridents fire out from the other side as Triton's army, Poseidon's army rises from the other side, led by his son. They charge on their seahorses and hippocampi in the opposite direction with their spears and nets and tridents at the ready to fight the sharks and to help the Valkyrie on their way.
Really glad we did the water mission.
Seemingly, you guys did good, and the ally bargain has been met.
So you've got a cool film battle scene to watch. You know, it's like you should have some popcorn.
Yeah,
That's a really cool movie title: Valkyrie versus Mega Shark.
Probably to cinemas in 2022, probably.
Who knows? It might get pushed back to 2025.
Straight to DVD. We know that.
Okay. So we can see. I'm guessing like kind of nothing's controlling it at the moment. It's just they're just all constantly kind of.
They're sort of bouncing around. It seems to be that either Ralakor had to concentrate to focus on any particular people that he wanted to watch in any great detail, or it was just set to randomly skip around and check in on various people at random intervals.
I suppose with that many eyes, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's about 100 different mirrors, so some of them have stayed off the entire time. Others have flickered back on and off.
Is it worth me trying to use this to check in on anybody?
Absolutely. If there are some that haven't shown up, we don't know if he was also watching his own allies to see where they were.
Obviously, I scry through drones, but I don't know how Leela would do with scrying through something she's not touched or don't touch.
So you can cast through the crystal ball. You can cast the scrying spell. So a creature would make a saving throw against it normally. With this enhancement, it does raise the DC that they have to meet. So who are you trying to focus on to scry?
Well, we've got how many visionaries are up there at the moment?
It briefly flipped on 3 out of 4.
Is it worth trying to find another one?
The fourth one would be Gaia's desire, wouldn't it?
Wait.
The air elemental, the giant.
I can either try and look for bad guys, or I can check in with camps for things that we might need to check as safe? Or shall we just try and find these bad guys and try and pinpoint where we need to be after this? This is the last. I'm pretty sure this is the last step, guys. I mean, if I find Fee, I'll go find Fee. I know she said she'd find us, but really we're kind of done here. So I don't. I know Fee flicked up. Let me try and focus on her.
We couldn't recognise her background, could we?
No, but that was, you don't know whether that's a restriction based on what Ralakor knew and had seen. Whether when you tried yourself, you might be able to find it.
Try. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, might as well. Kafina, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Yeah, I will just do something I probably should have done and had her sheet open as well. Ha ha ha. What was I making, sorry?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Oh no, I'm under attack. Well, all engine. Nah, 8.
8? No. Okay, so you focus on Kafina, and your mind is pushed through into this, and if you focus and concentrate on Kafina, the mirrors all light up like one of those multi-screened LED, things, picture boards, and you see a clear image of Kafina moving around in this. Kafina, you are at the workshop that you had arranged to be at, and you are currently in the process of explaining what it is that you are wanting to have constructed. There is a gathering. People have been gathered, but you are now explaining to the workforce about what it is that you're doing. And Leela can hear that conversation.
Oh. All right. So, yes, I'm glad you've all gathered here. Obviously, I did promise a lot of coin, and you will be paid when the work is done. But what we're making here today, I'm glad to see that some of the books here have, studied it before, but we're going to create something that uses magnetic fields to propel basically small bolts. We're basically making a magnetic field rifle. And yes, if any of you have expertise in this or even have some prototypes that you may have made before, that would be great. Otherwise, I have some preliminary designs here if you'd all like to look, and I'm not sure how long you want me to play out this scene before
a number of the dwarves will come and have a look at it and just go, "Yeah, fucking mental. What is this shite? Why are you trying to do this sort of thing? Like, it's much more efficient. Look, if you take this, you take the barrel, you need to scrape it down so it's smooth. You don't want to have it square. You want to angle the magnets so that they're pushing out." Yeah, you bought out of it. As you just watch as Vina and these dwarves are having an argument.
Okay. Well, at least she's surrounded by people, so she's safe, but yes.
They're all assassins!
Would I recognise where that workshop was?
You've not been there.
Okay.
So no. Asher, you would.
Yeah.
That is Niederblair.
Yeah. I assumed from the dwarves.
Yeah, in Svartalfheim.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a location on beach. She's the only one that can really get us back there and push us to the thing. Okay, well, we have her there. And that's just going to move. Big bads. So
Okay.
So the fire had flicked up,
Mm-hmm.
water had flicked up, and rock had flicked up.
Yes.
Can we have, and we're assuming they're all in the same place as we left them.
Yes. They looked like they were, yeah. Well, the fire one that had flicked up, you did actually briefly recognise the area that was around.
Okay, let's look into them again.
Okay. So roll for me as I bring up my names of the people, so I remember who they are. So you are scrolling on my cult map.
Yeah, you caught that.
Yay, cults. Code names. Okay, who are you starting on first?
We'll go fire first. That was the one we least recognise.
Okay, so you're on the Scorched Lord. All right. Okay. So if you cast your mind out and you focus on the Scorched Lord, normally the Scry spell doesn't transmit across planes. However, seemingly part of the amplification process that this is done seems to get around that fact. Scorched Lord is sat upon a molten throne of seemingly all sorts of different metals and ores and other things that seem to be just swirling around and constantly being poured back into this throne like a fountain. He sits there and is speaking in what language does he speak? I don't think you understand this one.
No.
Okay, you don't understand this one. Speaking in a language you don't understand to some of his followers. It seems to be that they are doing a stock take of various weapons, magical items, arms, armaments, all sorts of things that are there. In the back of the shop, there is a human male that looks very awkward and human female actually. My apologies, wrong person. That looks very uncomfortable.
Now zoom in.
So I'll have a look at the face and you don't recognise them.
No one does.
Well, only you and Asher and the other guy are there. But family, are you still pottering back and forth, moving stuff?
No, I've been assigned to babysitting Cedric and Lyra duty. I'm probably juggling with my extra arms to entertain them.
As you're sort of looking at this, there is a flicker on the creature's face, the woman, and it seems to be that there was an illusion that was holding up. This creature seems to be very similar in physicality to Kafid, as she is now. So darkened skin, white hair. But for whatever reason, is holding up the illusion of being human. But drops it away immediately and turns and starts to speak in, again, a language you don't understand. Asher, what languages do you speak?
Say grown.
Celestial, Common, Infernal, and Sylvan.
Okay, you don't understand this either. But they are talking, and the drow then turns and presents an arm out, and the vision fades. The surrounding area, though, you did recognise. That was part of the contrivance union. Of
Mr.
Which is the way you started your adventure and made your way to meet Kabina.
Where my diamond is.
All of it.
Okay. Getting ready. Rock boy.
The other moving boulder. Okay. You signal through. Okay. If you focus on South Peak, the huge mountainous form. There are a few creatures and earth elementals, as well as these petch creatures, sort of tiny gnome-like creatures that are on pickaxes, that have been putting rocks back together to make this gigantic giant form. And it seems to be what is healing him. He seems to be slowly recovering. What?
Gigantic giant.
Gigantic giant. Well, you've met giants. This guy was massive. It's a gigantic giant. So, fuck off. But as sort of sat there in the similar meditative pose that you first encountered him, just sat there, seemingly recovering, not saying anything. There's no conversation other than sort of general worker talk of, all right, then I'm going, couldn't you get Jim to do it? No, but you're already there. Jim.
Sure, Jim.
Jim the Petch. All the earth elements.
So he's being rebuilt.
Yes.
Okay. Water snake boy.
Animal Total Surge.
Is a pet.
Snakey boy.
Yes. Total Surge is still, you sort of get the image, and this picture is moving as you watch it. The near invisible form at a great depth as this vision comes in is moving at a great deep, sort of very deep part of water. Every so often it moves into a lighter pool, and you can see that there are buildings that have been completely demolished by the overall surge of water that slammed into them. Tidal Surge seems to be just swimming around in the ruins of Solitsa.
Seems to do that. Okay. So we have.
Although, as you watch, you remember the boundary for Solitsa only being maybe a mile, 2 miles or so. As you watch, judging with your intelligence and knowing how fast this thing can swim, going from the interior and the darker areas, getting to the light, that's maybe 30, 40 miles that he swum. The pool that he swims in has expanded.
Or he was just swimming in very tight concentric circles.
So you get the sense there wasn't any curvature on the body, so...
I tried.
From what you have discussed before, and you've understood, the areas of influence that have come from each of the visionaries have gradually expanded.
Yeah.
It seems that over time, the bubble that was over Sorita has expanded out to reach this central point in Namor.
Okay. That's growing. Is he the first one that is currently on our plane? No.
They're all on the material plane. They're all ended up on different cities, but this was the first one that you actually encountered on the plane.
May I suggest to Leela the dragon next?
The Void Dragon?
If that's what Leela wants to do.
Okay.
I don't know if she know anymore.
Yeah, you fought
the dragon blew your drones up.
You fought against Influence, who was the Void Dragon.
In space!
Oh, say!
You weren't there for Darkness. None of you have met Undergrowth yet. Some of you know of the Forest Guard, but you haven't. You've never met them, and I don't think you were there for the Master of Storms. You weren't there for the beheading incident, were you? No.
Can I say Brian though? Even though I don't know them.
You could attempt to.
Okay, so dragon.
Dragon first. Okay, that failed. Influence is seemingly coasting above a city. This area of expanse, instead of being as the bubble sort of expands out, this one is coming from the sky. The rift has opened above a giant city. The city itself is one that you're not familiar with, but it is a shining beacon on top of a mountain, of a hollowed out volcano once upon a time. You've heard stories of this place, this being the capital city, Namor, where humans, according to legend, took over and defeated the resident storm giants that lived here and took their home to be their own, took Namor to be their capital. There are bombardments of creatures on sky skiffs that shoot out and are throwing spears and arrows down towards the city. It's seemingly consistently under siege. The dragon just floats ahead. Every so often, a young red dragon just swoops in front of the vision, scorches the grounds for its own amusement, and then flies off again.
Okay.
But influence itself does not seem to be bothered.
But that city still stands.
It still stands. It seems to be that whenever as the fire burns out, it looks like it's scorching up, it then washes off. So whether it has some form of magical protection, you're not sure.
Okay. Wind boy.
Okay. You focus your mind and stretch it out. And you just feel something snap back and no.
Okay. No. Okay. He doesn't want me to see what he's doing, but then who does? Okay. Don't have eyes on him. Next guy. Undergrowthy guy?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you say to the thing? Undergrowthy guy.
Undergrowthy guy? I'm going to say it loud.
He's saying it to the orb. Undergrowthy guy?
Undergrowthy guy?
You focus on Undergrowthy Guy, who, with Asher's assistance, you remember is called Zuxmoy, the demon princess of Rotten Decay. You focus and you see an area deep underground, covered with fungi. They're just surrounding the walls, and a mushroom cave that she sits upon. You look at various things in this room, and you can see that there are bodies that have decayed and sprouted these hideous arrayment of mushrooms. And the bodies stand, move around. Wolves and other creatures that seem to be nothing more than hosts of the fungal spores. And she just absent-mindedly strokes them.
Okay. That's a bit creepy.
A mushroom-moid man wanders in, humanoid shape, but just fully fungal, wanders in, bows, and starts speaking in, you don't speak that, Asher does either. So many languages they don't understand, kind of the point of what they did. Start speaking, actually, no, you do speak a bit, don't you, Asher?
Mm-hmm.
You would understand this.
My lady, Jublex is trying to attack us again. What are your orders?
Destroy his oozes. Push him back. Perhaps it is time to release those who served the city before us. Get the tieflings. And the vision fades.
So who's attacking them, sorry?
Jublex.
Jublex.
Yes, you are familiar with the name Jublex. Jublex was the master of the Lord of Oozes that got sucked into the material plane along with Zuxmoy. They share a level of the abyss. So when she was pulled through, he was pulled through as well. He wants to go home. And when Asher came across the person from their past,
Ken
in General Point,
Yeah.
he had possessed or taken over the body of Ken
Yes.
to have a conversation with you and had offered
Yeah.
to give you a back entrance into Zuxmoy's palace.
Yeah. Okay. That is 5.
Mhm.
7.
That is 6.
Fire, rock, water, wind, Ruby, mushroom
Six.
princess,
And the dragon.
and dragon.
And the void.
And void dragon.
No, the void dragon was part. The dragon was the void.
What we got? 2 more left.
Yes. Darkness and Forest Guard.
Okay. Darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. So I probably should have known the advantage for each of them, but never mind.
You know what I'm saying about copyrighted music?
We're okay if it's like less than an entire line. It's fine. or just about aligned. It's less than like 5 seconds, I think you'll find.
7 seconds is the break-off point.
Yeah, it'd be then paradox. So you focus and concentrate, and you can't get a bearing on this one. However, your focus is drawn somewhat, and you see an individual, and the screen pops up, stood with their back, just stroking the side of their chin as you look at it from the back. Wings extending out of a muscular torso. You know, if you wanted my attention, you could have asked. Long time no see. Form turns around. Asher, you recognize this face. George Allmaster. And that is what we'll pick up after the break.
That treacherous fuck. Sorry.
You don't know.
You don't know. You don't know. Wow.
But okay
This is an informative session.
then. Yes.
So, we'll pick that up in about 10, 15 minutes or so. We will go off a break and we will come back and pick up from there. See you in a little bit.
Banana.
And we are back. So, as Asher and Leela stare up in this devilishly handsome face of their old ally, goateed, staring back at them, the vision flickers and disappears.
Would I recognize that person?
No, it was way before your time.
That's what I mean. Like, I'll turn to Asher. Who's that?
That is a long lost family member of mine.
Okay, sounds interesting. Cool. Next point.
For the record, not the visionary that you were looking for. Or not the person you were looking for.
Okay.
So not the, well, technically it was not the visionary you were looking for because it wasn't a visionary.
Okay.
And then your last one was Christ Guard.
First guard. Yes,
Oh,
okay.
wait.
Make a B-roll. Okay. You throw your mind out again, and the image appears of a large tree that sits high above a deeply forested city contained within walls. Beyond the city limits, the ground has become increasingly wild and untamed as grasses and trees and bushes and all sorts have risen up and are protruding off in a sort of wedge formation heading towards the mountain. You look over and pan around slightly and you see a rather portly satyr just reclined in a chaise lounge made of interwoven vines, handpipes below his chin.
Okay.
The vision face. You see that you sort of, as you were looking at him, you could see that his lips were sort of tinted red. Not blood, more wine.
So is that the guy we're writing or someone else?
You do recognize him, actually, from a long time ago.
Does
You don't.
she?
No, you weren't there. No, you weren't there.
The only other person who was there was George.
Yeah, it was you and George. Apologies. Do you know why it is? It's because he was there in the last camp, in the other campaign that I ran that's parallel to this one.
Okay.
we've tried to get eyes on all of the bad guys.
Mhm.
Is there anyone else? Should I go and ask the other guys to see if there's anyone else we want to look at?
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt.
I'll stick my head out. Guys, is there anyone else who want to check in? I can scry on this really cool thing. Anybody else? You'll come up.
Who have you looked on so far?
Checked in on feed. She's fine. Looks like she's building something, but she's got loads of friends. It's fine.
Okay.
And then visionaries. Got through to most of them. One shut me out. But yeah, not quite doomy.
And one redirected you.
You have been redirected.
Yeah. You missed it all by 100. You got someone else.
Please hold. A minion will be with you shortly.
Yes. So is there anyone else we want to check in on?
Now, unfortunately,
Did you check on our friends in the fleet?
We briefly saw them. Poseidon's army is there, protecting them. So that was a good move on that one. So I think they're okay. We just need to focus on big bads.
unfortunately, the best person to probably remember everyone that we need to look at is currently eating sand. Oh no, Lyra's not eating sand. She's just sitting there enjoying it.
Oh, right, it was Triton's army that was attacking Poseidon. I had to remind myself, look at my nose, like, yes, it was Triton.
Okay.
We should probably head somewhere to get these two sorted out as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's our next priority. I will thank the gem.
No.
What was his name? So, like, thank you. We hope you can start a new life. You have a lot going on here. We really need to kind of get out and meet these guys. So, thank you.
As I just sort of looking at this and bowing to me and nods and inclining his head, you notice that the kobolds seem to have gone into their subservient nature and have just started sweeping up the sand. And what a few of them sort of go over to the beholder with big sticks and just sort of chatting to each other about how they're going to move it. And just every so often they just sort of push it and it rolls like.
Well, I think that you.
One of those oversized beach balls.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we all done here, guys?
I think so.
Suppose we've got to find out where we want to go.
What was up with? Oh, no, we didn't mention that.
Okay.
So you still got that pebble.
I still have Gaia's power, yes.
So between the lots of you that are gathered there, you have 7 of the 8 required god fragments.
Because Fee's got one.
No, she handed that over. Hephaestus hasn't given you his yet.
Oh yeah.
But he said he would if
ready.
we got all of them ready, yeah.
Yeah, basically he was hedging his bets. He was like, right, I'm either going to give up my power now, or I do it later when I know that it's going to happen. Okay.
Very wise.
No, I've got stuff to do today, so it's a hammer to me.
Anyway, so we have everything we need. Apart from Fee that can get us there.
And the minds of these two.
We could kill 2 birds with 1 stone by heading back to Jorvik.
That's just going to be the best place.
Seems like a good plan.
Yeah.
Let's try and move these. We climbed down into this, but I think the temple went up, so we probably need to find a different way out.
Those of you who were here before, so Kelatar and Asher, remember that you can get into this passageway. There is a door that you initially came through when you first arrived. The first time you did that over a year ago, over 2 years ago, in fact. that you could go and walk out the front door now.
Isn't there also a hole in the ceiling that we could just leave?
Yes, if you could fly out, if you can fly. Are you taking any of the stuff that you found with you?
The kobolds you said on the ground had dropped some other stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just go and scoop that up.
Okay. There is a ring, another staff, and another book.
Ooh.
Oh, we'll deal with that once we've
So,
got these
clarify,
two
have you picked up all the other stuff that was
absolutely everything?
Okay. Okay. So you are heading outside?
Yeah. Anything that isn't nailed down.
Or a person now.
Yes.
All right. You make your way outside to where the blimp is. Not quite part where it was, because the sudden eruption of a temple from underneath it has pushed it off to the side somewhat. But it is nearby. What has Arushnir been doing throughout all of this?
I was going to say he'd be following him, and I guess if he sees they're about to leave on a blimp, he'd be saying, "Thank you so much for all of your help. You are indeed incredibly strong, and I feel greatly appreciative for all your work here today. I will stay, obviously, as this is my home, and help the Earth Mother, as I feel there is more work to be done. I hope you all Godspeed in your adventures."
Look after yourself out there.
Thank you for your assistance. It was good to have you working with us.
And yep, just many nods and then walks off.
Okay.
Get on the blimp.
All right. Who's piloting the blimp?
Me.
Okay.
I guess Foundling is the other one with a functioning mind.
Okay. Okay, you've loaded the crab onto the back of the blimp. A somewhat damaged crab.
Shut Lyra and Cedric in cabins so they don't sort of go wandering off and falling out.
Lock the doors.
Yeah.
All right. You concentrate and reconnect with the blimp and send yourself off to Yorvik. Where in Yorvik are you heading?
I don't know.
If we want to get these restored, we need a cleric.
Sounds like we need to go to a temple.
May I suggest Noala's house?
That sounds good, and I'm sure she'd be glad to see you.
Nuala, I believe, is currently staying at your keep.
Yeah.
Road is at her house, but Nuala isn't.
Ah, yes.
So, that's the kid with the grandparents.
So back to the keep? Or...
Absolutely. Yeah, sounds good. And then we can go and pick Kafina up on the way to our destinations.
All right. You concentrate and you into the astral sea and back next to the keep of the Nibble keep. You take the blimp inside the protections that you have, embark it up, disembark. There are fewer refugees in the grounds of the keep now. They seem to have all moved into Vansala and have a lot more homes and infrastructure built in the last year, which is impressive. You only hear about Gaia. It helps when you've got people who can do things like fabricate and just make houses.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we need a 10-foot wall out of this pile of wood.
The abuse.
I know, right? Not even abuse, it's just a really useful building spell.
I abuse it.
Deception.
But you can disembark and you can go around looking at, well, you can speak to who you like. So, what are you doing?
We need to pick the them people brains.
I will escort these two up to Nuala.
Okay, you head in. Nuala is sat at one of the library nooks, sort of reading, taking a moment. She looks at him and just smiles at you. Asha, it's good to see you. Why are you covered in sand? Closes up book and puts it to one side. Stands up and moves towards you to give you a hug.
I step back slightly. It was just a brief meeting with Gaia, the Lady Gaia in her temple, which happens to be in a desert.
She was confused at the step back. Right. Well, you get around the gods, I suppose. What's wrong with these two?
It appears both of their minds have been broken somewhat, and no one else could help us, so thought maybe you could try.
I mean, I could. I haven't used that capability much today. Do you want to set them down and I can...
I plonk them both down in a chair.
Okay.
Just one chair.
Yes, just the one.
Do you happen to have diamond dust?
Quite actually, I do.
Oh.
And 2 500s.
Oh, thank you. That's way more than you actually need, but...
Oh, well, I didn't know. I've got 2 500s. I think we were just handing it out at one point.
She takes the 1,000 gold worth of diamond dust and just takes 2 small pinches and puts them on herself. Only need about 100's worth. She mutters a prayer to Odin, places it first on Cedric and to Lievler. The two of you, your minds return, your intelligence is restored, your charisma is restored. You may now speak, you are free. You feel the power of magic again. I don't know why I'm looking off into the distance, but why not? It's heroic.
Where the magic is.
It's over there somewhere.
Yeah, I put it up there somewhere.
Oh, you put it above my boiler.
The magic's in blue steel.
I think the majority of us have got brown eyes, but there we go. Anyway. Cedric and Lyra, you are.
Woo! I mean,
Do you feel better?
Should I feel worse?
You can speak. That's better than you were before. Lyra? Can you talk? Or just
I'm all right. I'm somewhat angry. I shall get over it.
Okay.
Not angry at us, I hope.
No. Mostly with myself.
You have nothing to be angry with yourself for. You fought tenaciously and with great bravery. You've set a new standard for us, I think.
That's very kind of you to say, Foundling.
And we
Lyra
won.
looks a bit pissy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convey that. It's difficult over Zoom.
Yeah. Nuala sort of looks awkwardly amongst herself. Well, I'm glad you're all okay. Is there anything else I can do for you? Are you injured? Can I heal you or?
I think maybe best to save your magic. I imagine we'll be resting here at least for a while. We have plans to make.
It would be nice to know what happened recently, and also why is my arm glowing?
Gaia did
For a
that.
second.
She gave you a hug, and the thing on your arm glowed more. She was like a creature made of sunlight. It was rather impressive.
You mean we met Gaia, and I didn't get a chance to talk to her?
You
Well-
mumbled slightly.
Well, better than
you got-
nothing, I suppose.
You got a hug from her. The rest of us didn't. You can
This
feel
is
special about that. Does your arm feel different?
I feel healthier.
As you sort of look down at the arm, you can see small tendrils of dirt that are just slowly making their way up your legs and sort of soaking into wounds and healing over the flesh. As your sort of passive healing continues.
Yes. I'm not
Also-
going to bother rolling. I'm guessing over the next 10 minutes, eventually I will have gained.
Yeah, you would get to full health
Yeah.
fairly quickly.
Didn't I see, Asher, your sword was...
Yes, my sword glows. It means nothing.
Are you sure?
It does nothing for me. Thus, it means nothing.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, I suppose. Is everything all right, Ash? You seem a bit out of sorts.
It's just been a very long day.
No, do you want to go to bed? We can... Like, not like that, I mean... Oh!
And what time is it?
For you now? Hard to tell when you're in Jorvik, or at least in Alpine, because it's constant daylight. But probably now, all the things you're doing, moving the statues and stuff, you're probably about 3 or 4 hours after getting up.
Kind of the middle.
Yeah, fairly early. Actually, no, because you got there around dusk.
Yeah, I was going to say. we
So
would-
actually, you're probably close to midnight, probably around 11
Oh,
o'clock.
okay. Yeah.
Which case, ignore all the references to sunlight that we mentioned in the desert. No, long days in the desert, it's fine. Sure, long enough.
And partway around the world, so
Yeah,
different time zone.
I understand how time works.
Yeah.
No, we're still in a country that has clocks that go forward for some reason. I don't know why. I mean,
Because
I understand why they go forward in general. I don't know why they go forward for daylight savings.
For those farmers, all those farmers that we have.
What is
Yeah,
it that we need to...
but numerous farmers.
I repeat, we don't want to be like Russia.
No. But anyway.
It has been a long day. Shall we rest and meet in the morning to try to plan our next moves? We know we now have about 3 weeks.
I think that's
Yes.
a very good idea.
I'll just go off and see if I can find Kafina and let her know we're back and ask her to attend the meeting in the morning.
Ina is on Nebular. She's quite a distance away.
Sorry.
We never actually told you, so you wouldn't know.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that could be first part of the plan, going to get her.
Absolutely.
I can send her a message if you like. I have that capability.
That's fine. We'll speak to her in the morning.
Okay. Well, I'm heading to bed. Asher, are you coming?
Sure.
Right. She
Good night.
reaches down, picks up her book that she was reading, and nods to you. It's good to see you. And makes her way upstairs.
You see,
You follow Asher?
Yep.
Okay. The rest of you, are you making your way to bed? Is there anything you wish to do this evening?
I'm going to back the crab out. I'm going to put it in the workshop ready for the morning. Yeah. So I can just give it a little,
Mhm.
try and fix it up a little bit.
Okay. It's interesting to point out that you don't have your own room here because it was made before you arrived.
Mm.
You sleep in the workshop, which is Kafina's bedroom, effectively. But
I mean, you could just have your bedroll in the crab.
I was going to speak of the crowd.
it's like a
Hello
tent.
there.
Like a tent.
You.
I'm going to go to my special library.
Alone.
Should we
Many
find
refugees.
someone else?
I
Yeah.
could go and find a refugee, but tonight I'm thinking, just
Self-love.
just sleep.
All right. Is there anything that happens during the night, or are you just all resting?
Get a lovely rest.
I don't know. You're the DM. Does anything happen during the night?
I'm asking you if there's anything you want to do during your rest.
Is Orion here?
Orion is not in the keep. He is currently off helping out with the construction, so he's not here, but he is nearby.
So I'd say after Lyra has completed her 4 hours trance, she would go and try and find him while everyone else is still asleep.
Okay. It's easy enough to find him. Even though this is a city of elves, because there are a number of humanoids that are around, and he is the only other Eladrin that is in this area, he is fairly easy to pick out of the crowd. He is currently sat at the viewing platform of the lighthouse, and is just sat with his legs between the railings, looking out at the Bay of Yggdrasil.
Does he seem to be in his trance, or does he seem to be alert?
He appears to be alert and just sort of looking around, because after a while you sort of notice him look up and just follow the flight of the bird. Where he turns back and looks and watching the various ships come in.
Good morning, brother.
He looks down. Sister, good to see you.
And you?
Want to come up? Join me up here? Pleasant view.
Certainly. I will go up and join him.
And sit beside him. He doesn't say anything. You take your seat.
We met an old friend yesterday.
I know you went to see Ralakor, didn't you?
That was a hard fight, but he shouldn't be a problem anymore.
That's reassuring. Did you destroy his device?
The seeing apparatus?
Yes.
I don't actually know. My mind rendered insensible during the fight, and it didn't come back to me until we returned here. I don't know whether it was destroyed or what happened to it.
Well, as long as it's buried beneath the sand, I guess no one will go there again.
I understand from what someone said that there is now a priesthood of Gaia in the temple.
As good a people to watch it as any, I suppose. Maybe it'll do a lot more good than it did evil. Or maybe not, I don't know. Ralakor was an interesting person, creature.
I don't know how you feel about mementos.
Depends on what it is. I hold that handkerchief Mother gave me when I was small. He sort of takes it out, and a sort of pale blue lace embossed handkerchief that he has. I hold this at home.
I don't really have any memoirs from our parents.
No.
Just wish I did. But I did wonder if you'd like one of these, and I will take one of the eye stalks out. And
you know, I'm okay.
To each their own. I'll put it back in the bag.
He wasn't my captain, or my lieutenant that I followed. But no, captain was the right rank. He wasn't the one I followed, so no. If you happen to bring me the head of Velamus, then that would be interesting. Or no, Tidal Surge I followed. There we go. I did many things. I crossed the paths many times. It got confusing. I bounced around a few of the branches, filling in as people needed.
We killed Tidal Surge once, but I don't think it took. We'll have to try that again.
It's difficult to defeat a force of the elements.
We have a way now, we think.
That's reassuring.
Are you content here?
I am free here. I'm
no longing for home?
Home would mean imprisonment for stealing the Thralis. Home would mean having to see our sister's delightful judgmental sneer every time I went for a shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Home would mean not this. I like this. This is simple. This is peace. Apart from the destruction, that is a rather unfortunate monument, but I enjoy rebuilding. I don't think I was ever meant to be a soldier.
I don't think many people are, but I'm glad you found some peace. Yeah, I know you are. We must get on. I need to get to the others.
Yeah, yes. Remind me. No, you know what? You can wait. You can wait. Go, do hero stuff. Save the world, sister.
I'll try. Sort of clap him on the shoulder and leave.
Make a perception check if you leave.
Perception check?
Mm-hmm.
22.
Okay. You just hear, as the wind catches it, something that you probably didn't mean for you to hear.
Yeah.
A soft muttering in Sylvan that just says, steady the blade. Hold your shields. It is not a prayer, but closer to a blessing or a warrior's promise. And something that was once said to the warriors that left home in the ancient times of your home, when they had to leave and head out on raiding parties in order to defend it. But it had become more of a blessing in later times.
Okay. I won't let on that I've heard it.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, have we completed a long rest at this stage?
Yes, we have. Long rest may be taken. Except for you.
No!
You don't deserve one. Is there anything else that anyone wishes to do of this evening, or
only when we wake up?
Okay. Okay. Roll a d10. and then a performance check.
Your own charisma check.
Oh, bloody hell. Well, it was a 6 on the D10.
Mm-hmm.
And performance, 34.
You give yourself a vigorous role play throughout the entirety of the evening.
Yes.
It is full of song and characters, and the 6 times that you enjoy yourself.
Gosh.
You're glad there's soundproofing, let's put it that way.
Yes. I mean, I think, I'm not sure Kevin's on care that much.
No.
I'm just really glad Kelatar didn't get his hands on the spying mirror, right?
All the women I have looked at.
Women,
Everything in between.
Yeah. Alright, morning comes. And... No.
Sorry.
I kind of like wake up early, still like have long rest worthy, but like get up and just kind of tinkle with crab.
You may think with crap.
Yeah.
Connor, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I'd like to have a chat with Noala, please.
Okay. You sort of you are up first. Sort of your natural instinct to be, as soon as you wake up, you are immediately alert as if you're ready for battle. And you are sat on the bed, she just sort of covering you. Noala sort of sprawled out to one side, face down. And she turns her head and looks over her shoulder and brings it around. Are you all right?
I am not.
What's wrong? She adjusts herself and sits up and puts an arm on your forearm.
I am not comfortable living a lie.
What do you mean?
When we first met was just shortly after a battle, and I believe that because you were the first person who was there for me, I gave a false action in believing that I had feelings for you.
What?
I don't love nor like you, and I don't wish to be with you, and I don't think I have ever had feelings for you.
Why are you saying this?
Because I am uncomfortable living a lie.
Make a deception check.
So what actually wants to cry for her right now?
24.
Actually, I don't understand. Why? Why now? Why are you saying these things? Is there something you're not telling me? Are you hiding something?
I hide nothing from you, and now I tell everything to you.
No. You love Frode like he's your own. You bounced him on his knee. You presented him Shatterfangs as if it was a blade you were going to give him when he grew up. You... No, I don't accept this, no.
You have to accept it. I am leaving, and when I leave this time will be the last time you see me.
She's at the point of tears. Why are you so cruel? Why would you possibly do this?
I do this because this is how I feel, and this is the right thing to do for myself And quite possibly, I don't care about the way you feel about it.
She hits you with a 6th level inflict wounds with a natural 20.
Wow! Bye, Cedric.
Cedric.
Yeah.
Cedric feels a disturbance in the force.
Something horrible has just happened.
That was all hard to listen to.
What is this called? This is a thing. Isn't there a movie which like someone does this to their dog or something? It's like, go, leave. I never liked you. Leave.
Like, it's a trope. It's happened a lot.
And there's a reference to it. And I can't remember what where it's off. It's killing me.
So you take it will be double, but it's half your resistance to necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
You take 37 points of necrotic damage. Yeah, I know it's depressing because she's resistant to it, but the slap and the force of it as it just hits you almost knocks you out of the bed, but your natural stoicism just brings you back up. She's just there, the sheet sort of hanging around her, just clasped. And she just glares at you. I don't. Fine. Fine. If that's what you're going to be, then
That's what I have always been.
you have never been cruel. Different, maybe, unlike anything I've ever. But you were never cruel. She reaches and she grabs her things. She walks up the door. The sheet still wraps around her. His hand pulls it open. And she looks over her shoulder at you.
I'm not looking back.
Good hell. She slams the door.
Oh, I already am. That is said.
Yeah. There's a knock at your door.
Go and open it.
Kovala is there, holding her clothes and the sheet around her. I need to hurt someone. She pushes you into the room, slams the door behind her. Yes!
You're gonna need another long rest, mate.
Roll a wisdom save to resist, Kalatar. Roll a wisdom save.
No! Why would I resist? This is something that Kalatar wanted.
Oh, God.
We now take a break from saving the world for soap opera drama.
Yeah, this whole time, Bold and the Beautiful has just been played. It's like, yeah, slapped, just slap in the face.
Who's getting hurt here?
I mean, what just happened? I don't want to ask. No, not
I question nothing. The rest of you gather for breakfast. Kalatar and Asher are conspicuously absent. Foundling downs a coffee. You're working on the crowd as well, so you're not there yet.
I'm sure the others will join us at some point. It was a hard day yesterday. I don't blame them for sleeping in. Do we want to try to make a plan now, or should we go and collect Kathina and then confer with her? I think that may be the best option.
You're there. Cedric and Lyra, you are there, so Foundling's talking to you two.
Oh, sorry. I can't forget that I'm not completely feeble-minded still. Yes.
I thought you were just distracted by Cat.
And also Cat. Yes, we should probably go try collect Kafina as soon as possible and see if she is available to join us again.
Because, as I understand it, if Hephaestus comes through, we now have all the things we need to forge the soul gems, and then it will be a matter of picking our first targets. I'm not
Yes.
sure. I'm not sure if it really matters who we choose as our first. We will have to face them all at some point.
Is there any which is particularly weaker? My thoughts.
I have a suggestion for that.
Go ahead.
I think we should get in touch with our slimy friends.
Which ones?
The ones who offered us a way to fight Zgodmoy?
Ah, yes. With a possible way to sneak in.
Indeed.
That seems sensible.
My preference would be if we tackled the ones who we know may be weak or may be easier to dispose of, because at least if we go down later down the line, we've done as much as we can.
Are any of them going to be weaker?
I don't know.
Suggesting the ones we've already fought and killed and who have reformed themselves.
Potentially.
It's been quite a while since we fought Tidal Surge now. I'm thinking it's been some weeks since Tidal Surge and that battle.
Yeah, that would have been about 3 weeks ago.
I was thinking almost the opposite. The ones we've fought before will know our weapons and tactics. They may be better prepared when we face them again.
Fair. We need to deal with all of them, so we can. I think going for the ooze approach first is probably the best.
And we may have allies for that, which is as much advantage as we're likely to get.
Yes.
Let's hope the others agree. Kitty!
As you're sort of having a discussion, a door opens upstairs and Asher trudges down looking solemn. Sits at the table.
Good morning, Asher. Are you alright?
I do feel much healthier today, yes.
That sounds like a strictly accurate answer.
Well, I think we need to be very strictly and very strict and very accurate in the way we coordinate ourselves.
We've been discussing plans. We're thinking we should go collect Kafina and see if we can forge the gems we require. And then the first visionary to tackle Zugtamoy seems like a good option, as we have potential allies who may be able to help us sneak in.
That sounds like a very well-detailed plan for us. Before we start planning anything, I would like to say that George Ormaster is back on the playing field.
From what you've said of him before, I presumed he was consigned to one of the hells.
He is consigned to the hell in which Gaia resides, and Gaia seems to be the person he serves. Using Ralakor's seeing abilities is what me and Leela saw yesterday.
As a former ally, are you worried about facing him?
Absolutely not.
Cedric is plunged into darkness for no reason.
It's just being dramatic. We should be careful. You will know more than anyone some of our strengths and weaknesses.
But he won't know mine, nor Leela's.
This is true, but I always feel we should be cautious.
We've grown a little since he last saw us as well.
Yes, I do feel taller. But yes, that was all I had to give, really. The ever-moving boulder at South Peak is still wounded and healing as we speak.
So, Cedric, your idea of striking ones that may be weakened, maybe we should consider that.
He is not yet at full strength. Admiral Tidal Surge has regained full power from what I can tell, and is quite happily swimming through the remains of Solrisa. His domain has swelled immensely since we last saw.
I suppose we might possibly have some reinforcements with the battle against him.
Triton's army has already put up a valiant effort in defending the fleet as it sailed past. From what I could tell, it looked like they were successful.
That's good.
We do probably need to coordinate with them and agree a strategy at some point if they're getting close to Channel Point. Could you tell where they were?
Not accurately, no. But yes, I do agree we should go to Abelos to uphold our end of the deal, at least to the users. At least we'll have an ally there, or a potential ally, before the users are all wiped out.
Very well, that sounds good to me. As long as Kalatar and Kathina agree, we have a plan.
Also, Leela.
You go then.
Leela isn't at the road, so she's doing stuff to grab.
Leela's never disagreed with anything that we've said, so.
And just sort of having your breakfast and coming to this plan, you hear another door open upstairs. As Nuala descends the staircase, followed by Kalatar.
Oh,
You sort of like, yeah.
I was gonna. No, don't just. Oh.
Good morning, both of you.
Kalatar stops about halfway up the stairs, and Nuala stops maybe two from the bottom.
Chat with you before you left. What just happened? Not complaining.
Kalatar, why do you look so sheepish?
No reason.
Okay then.
I mean, passive deception versus passive insight. I think Cedric wins that one.
I don't know. What's the passive insight?
I'm going to look at.
Same.
I think Cedric does have advantage with his shield, though.
Yeah.
Where's shields?
Oh, it's back. Anyway, sorry, Tom.
I'm going to look at Nuala, see what expression she has.
Make an insight check.
17, I think. Yeah.
As you sort of look at her, her eyes are red, her hair is ruffled, her clothes have been hastily arranged, and she is scowling at Asher, looking pure daggers at her. Looks over at Kalatar. Turns back to the rest of you. Goodbye, everyone. She just walks out the door.
Kalatar will be kind of falling over his feet trying to run after her.
Okay. Shakes after. And catch her in the courtyard.
I just kind of take to one side.
She does not stop moving.
Okay, we'll keep walking it.
You're going to be doing that thing where you like Ralakor just walk backwards, striding.
No. Whoa, Neddy, stay.
You served your purpose. I don't need to talk to you anymore.
I'm glad I served the purpose. I'm just not used to be the one on the other end of this.
Well, I'm sorry that it's a new experience for you.
It was a nice experience, believe me. Why?
I wanted to hurt someone.
Well, I got that. Unfortunately, on that thing, I'm not. Well, it wasn't me and it wasn't you. What did she do?
Asking yourself. She just pushes past you and just walks out the castle gates. I'm going to see my son.
I'll stand there for a minute, think, and go. I've got a fair idea. Walk back inside.
You ever heard enchanted plate mail bend?
Yep.
Because I'm wearing gauntlets. And the one's like on the table and I'm like eating, it's all fine, having a drink, everything. My left one under the table, you can hear just metal bending.
Yep.
Just under immense pressure.
Yep.
I'm going to kill. So, what are we talking about?
We were planning on attacking Abelos.
Oh, Leela will come up as well now.
Yes. There is an unbelievable tension. Actually, what's your wisdom modifier?
What did she
Yeah, what's your wisdom modifier?
That's fine.
Oh.
Sorry, us too.
Okay. There's an unbelievable tension in this room. You're not entirely certain why. But you're Leela. You've been tinkering today. You're happy. You're in a good mood.
Yeah.
You fixed Droney and Dronad.
They weren't hurt. It's crap that was only hurt.
Oh, okay. You haven't really done much for that. But you're in a good mood.
Did I do anything to the crowd?
You've sort of done some superficial things. It looks like it's going to take a little bit more mending to do it. So you probably could have got maybe 25 to 30 hit points worth of restoration to it.
Yeah. If I just got a needle, 27.
Sure.
Where's a pen?
There's one level of light bulb.
Yay. Ow.
Pen's not in your knee.
Yes, we had decided to go to meet Kathina again. Hope Hephaestus holds up his end of the bargain and grants his power and forges the gems for us, and then move to strike at Zugtamoy.
Sounds like a good plan.
It is a plan. I think we need to be sure we're working as a team and working together, because this is going to be tough and important.
Absolutely,
anyone-
the fate of the world itself depends on it.
Does anyone wish to say anything, or does anyone have a problem with anyone?
Anyone wish to get anything off their chest?
Yes, I would like to say something. I think we should eat a big, healthy breakfast before we get our day started.
I agree. Said
Thank you, Cedric. Anyone else? Looking at Asher and Kalatar.
Kavita was hiding her face even though she's not there.
Are you waiting to find out what their breakfast order is? Asher, what would you like?
No, fine.
I would love some bacon, Cedric.
Okay, and Kalatar, would you like anything?
Whatever is available.
I will just also make you some bacon.
There was also some very choice words you put in there, Kalatar. Anything that's available?
I mean, to a certain extent, I've already had the breakfast of champions, so.
Fuck it, go out. Let's just go out.
Kalatar just holding the lever down, going, well, head man switch.
Kalatar, I understand exactly what happened. And believe me, I don't blame you.
I mean, no, bacon is delicious.
Absolutely. Much like when anyone is presented a hearty bacon roll, it is almost impossible to say no.
Indeed.
I agree as well.
Yes! Innuendo counter! Bacon roll!
Well, when you're given a clear instruction of you have to do something, it's a bit difficult to turn it away.
Exactly, even if you're full, it's always good to have one more.
Always be prepared.
Are we still talking about bacon rolls?
Absolutely.
Yes, of course we are. What else would we be talking about?
So were you saying you're full and you don't want your bacon roll?
No. I will always have another bacon roll.
Okay.
No, I'm feeling hungry. I might go and find Drenalis while we're here.
Is that so you can have a bacon roll with him?
Yeah.
Yes, so Kelatar's had a bacon roll. Liralair's going to have a bacon roll. So, yeah, looks like everyone's going to have a good day.
Yes.
Yes. I guess I need to cook a lot of bacon then.
Yes, a large order.
Oh, okay then. And Cedric will go start cooking some food up.
You open the pantry and there's just a pile of bacon because it's a magical fortress.
Yeah. Just stick the next.
The bacon roll, of course, is served with a siding and just a coating of subtext. It's just available for you to cook up.
Just really on top.
Believe it or not, it's the first bacon roll you've ever had that's both sour and salty.
Lyra, make an investigation check to try and find journalists.
To try and find your bacon.
Oh, not very good. 13.
Okay. You ask around. Drenalis is not here. He had some business to attend to at back to castle.
Makes sense. Every time I look for him there, he's here.
Yeah.
I will head back to the keep.
Okay. By which point Cedric has created a platter of bacon rolls.
I hope everyone is as hungry as they said they were.
Absolutely ravenous.
My philosophy differs from theirs. I will just have enough bacon to sustain me. I don't need to have more once I'm full. But
Once a week kind of treat, yeah?
That's my philosophy, and you have your own. As long as we can all work together, I don't think we need to disagree or fall out over bacon.
One of the refugees who's been outside at one visit. You got anything vegetarian? Get out!
Fuck off.
Scurries outside very quickly.
That's my food's food.
I'm going to pick one up and take a bite and think, I haven't had bacon roll in a very, very long time.
There's plenty more of those at the castle.
It's coming through, isn't it? It's the subtext flavours.
So basically, I watch Kelatar eat as many bacon rolls as he possibly can.
I've got to imagine it's almost a contest between you so you can eat more bacon.
No, just like every time he stops and he's like, I'm full, Ash is like, you sure about that? He just forces it.
Basically.
You don't want my bacon roll.
And then
I feel like it's going to turn into that scene from that Vicar of Dibley episode, and it just gets
many
painted.
Christmases.
Yeah, the sprouts. Yeah.
I then offer him plentiful amounts of ale
For breakfast.
for breakfast.
Breakfast beer.
Why not?
That's
No,
a good
sure.
idea.
This day, Kalatov's in a one-off. This day started well. It's now getting better.
And then once he's had maybe like 4 or 5 pints, I just walk behind him, stand him up, and then gut punch him incredibly hard.
Make a strength check. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I can see where this is going. Con save.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm great.
You even have a long rest.
I mean, if I didn't already before this.
Yeah.
15?
26.
You take.
I threw the D10 on that as well, just so you're aware.
I approve.
You take 8 points of damage as the piss goes in and pushes up. You feel your stomach completely contract and ring, and everything that was in there projectiles across the entirety of the table. Lyra and Cedric make dexterity saving throws.
Oh, you should be good at those.
That's my projectile.
I'm having flashbacks.
Okay, you have to say this.
Lyra's like, PTSD.
22.
Cedric? Yes, Ross?
I rolled a 1.
So Lyra dives out of the way, but seemingly at the expense of Cedric, who goes, You are mid-bite, your mouth is open, descends on you. This deluge of vomit, leftover, mostly chewed bacon, and ale.
Oh, God.
Kelatar falls flat on his face on the ground. Asher is spotless. Cedric is ruined for the day. In fact, make a Constitution saving throw yourself, Cedric. Which, unfortunately, with Gaia's protection in there, probably not going to help.
22.
Yeah, you prevent yourself from throwing up. It's not that. It's in your mouth. Oh God! It's in the. Oh God! Oh.
Well, that was a waste of bacon, wasn't it?
Absolutely was. Some would say it wasn't worth eating at all.
And that's where we'll end for this week. On that line. You satisfied, Comic, because I know you wanted some drama.
I did. Drama was had.
You didn't expect that, did you?
Trust us to make such
Man.
light out of a heavy situation.
That was more brutal than the fight with the Beholder.
Yeah.
I actually kicked Steph out of the Twitch channel. I banned her for 5 minutes. I was like, you don't want to hear this.
You need to let her watch it later, though.
No.
Like, yeah. Sorry, what's her? I'll send her a link.
Yeah, we'll put it on YouTube. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just can we add some
God.
plinky plonky piano behind it to lighten the mood?
Right. Steph doesn't like D&D. It's fine.
I feel like I'd start playing some ragtime and it would evolve into like Mad World or something.
Yeah, right. Oh God, that hurts. Anyway,
I think I did a sufficient job.
yeah, you think?
Not half.
I think that bridge is completely gone now.
That you didn't burn the bridge. You blew it to smithereens.
And then put Kelatar in his path. If you're
Yeah,
going
when
to look around with the party sluts, then
It's like, yeah, 6th level inflict wounds. I'm like, well, at least it's a spell that can't kill me.
yeah, she hasn't learned power word kill yet.
Well, I have a feeling she's going to be studying very, very hard.
Who knows you to honor being the BBET?
Yeah.
Off to join the cult.
But yes, so we will pick that up. We'll pick that up next week and see where it goes and how that will affect the party. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone who's here. Thank you for taking care of yourselves, staying safe out there. We'll hope that you're staying safe. We're looking after each other and yourselves. Have a very good weekend. And we'll see you next time. Good night, everyone.